Yo, peace, is your boy back at it again. So check this out, man. I just want to talk about the topic of finding beauty and strength. Often when I go to the gym, I see really bullshit workouts going on. People not really pushing themselves, just going along or going with the flow. And then they wonder why they're not getting the results that they desire. One, they're running away from the hard stuff, right? You have to train to get stronger. All right. Not that bullshit with the pink weights, doing that. If you elderly, that's different. But I've been around long enough or have an eye to see when someone is BSing around and not pushing themselves because weights are too hard. And for ladies, no, it's not going to make you bulky. But before I begin, I'm going to give you a quick story, right? I remember one time I was in the park working out with my brother. And this is the first and last time that we met this gentleman in there. But nevertheless, we end up conversing. And during our conversation, he said, he was talking about how he almost got to a confrontation. Guy was mouthing off to him, yada yada. As soon as he got out of his car, he said, okay, as men, we don't talk much. It is what it is. We gonna fight or we just gonna leave it alone. So he was like, I bet. He got out of the car and he said he froze the dude, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. I will never forget that. And for those who don't know, that's the temperature that water turns to ice, right? For your own edification. But basically, he used as a metaphor as the guy when he came out and saw his posture and his presence. The guy froze up and he copped the plea. Or he turned down, he said, oh, okay. He reevaluated the situation, was like, oh, all right, it's cool, it's peace, it's peace, it's peace. All right? Because he had a strong posture, a strong physique. And we have to do that as well. And we have to think like that also. So I'm going to go over a few points real quick to show us why being strong is beautiful. All right. One, it empowers us through progress. You see, because when we we can lift more than we did the day before, it builds our confidence. Oftentimes, as a personal trainer, when I do one-on-one training with clients, they would often I'll put a weight on. They'll often be like, "No, I can't do this." I'm like, "How would you know? You didn't even try yet." Then when they do it, they're like, "Oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought." Oh wow, I'm really stronger than I thought I was. I said, "Yeah." They was like, I'm glad that we did that because if I wasn't with you, I wouldn't have tried that. You see what I'm saying? So then they start building that confidence. And not only that, it transfers over to everything else. They're like, they be more assertive with how they want to live their life. They're like, all right, I can take this challenge head on. All right. Two, confidence. Shout out to my uncle Ron Wills. He promotes body game, but not just to attract the opposite sex, but really for you to get comfortable within your own body and physique and build your best body. That's one aspect of what he teaches. You see what I'm saying? Once you have a confident body, right, or a strong physique that radiates a confident body, you can wear a t-shirt and some jeans, and you will get stares. I'm telling you, many times. I remember I was walking the streets, just minding my business. A guy was looking at me kind of weird. I'm like, okay. He was like, yo, fam, your physique, yo, you looking real good. Because I was working out. I had a strong physique by God's grace. And I'll continue to keep on this path and make my physique even stronger. But from him giving me that compliment, I hope it inspired him to be like, yo, let me work out and get my physique stronger. You see what I'm saying? All right. And also it sharpens your presence. Most times too, when people come in the room, you know that your presence speaks volume. You think their presence is like this, coming in? No, they come in shoulders back, chest high, head up, walking. That's what being strong is. Also, when you do martial arts, those who study the arts, the first thing they teach you is how to stand. Other than falling too, depending on the art, but the first thing or the common thing that they'll teach you is how to stand, posture, building yourself from the ground up. All right. Three, discipline that spills into your life. That's why people don't, for some, don't like people who work out because they're like, oh no, I can't pull no shit on this person. Why? Because they physique. It shows that they're disciplined. It shows consistency. It shows resilience. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes far beyond just finding motivation to build your body. It's doing things that you don't want to do it when you want to do it. There's no feelings involved. It's you and that weight, you and yourself pushing yourself to be better. That's why most people don't want to get into training and looking strong. No, I'll be a slacker. When you take this on, you become more accountable, and therefore you will hold others accountable because you'll start holding yourself accountable. All right, and you start raising the standard, and it'll go into another aspect that I won't touch on today, but I may touch on in a future video. All right. 4. I got mad stuff here. The celebrations of your body. I always ask this question. I think one of my mentors asked this question too. If if God was a celestial being, what type of body would he come in? What type of form you think he would take? Someone who's out of shape? Nah, you think he come in someone, not no bodybuilder, but at least he'll have a fit physique, right? If both Bible and Holy Quran talks about man being in the image and likeness of God, in the Holy Quran it says he's a Khalifa, I mean his vicegerent, he sits in the place of God. How you think you should look? I'll wait. You want to have a strong physique, right? Like I said, you ain't gotta look like no IFBB pro, but you want to have a physique that takes you somewhere. This is the vehicle. As Andrew Tate would say, be your own Bugatti. You're your own Bugatti. The highest of the high, the best form is right here. That's why they call it a temple, right? God lives within us. So we have to treat this right because we only have one life to live. And you want to continue this or maintain your vehicle or the mode of transportation to the best of your ability. All right? And not only that, when it comes to celebration of your body, you don't want to lose weight per se. You want reduction in body fat. I did a video on that with body fat versus fat loss. Because sometimes what people will do, and the mistake that they will make is they will say, I want to lose the weight first, then build muscle. No, go into what is called body recomposition, where you burn fat and you build muscle, right? Proper strength training protocols and nutrition protocols as well will help you achieve those goals. If you need any help, you can click the link below, book a call with me, and I got you. All right. 5, pardon me, your mental resilience. This is more than just building a body. It's about building your mind. Everything starts in the mind. If you practice Hermetic principles, I think the first one or one of the Hermetic principles is all is mind. Everything starts here. And it starts in and it reflects out. All right? So when you're pushing through that last rep and you want to quit, but you're pushing through it, these things like that will build your mental resistance. And like I said earlier, it will carry over into other aspects of your life. All right? So keep that in mind. And 6, time the strength. Just the other day, yesterday I was out. I saw this older gentleman. I looked at him. I said, damn, he's jacked. Time the strength. You could tell. Strong fit. Listen here. If I was in closer proximity, I would have got and shook his hand. I'm like, man, if I pray to get to your age, I want to look like you. I'm dead serious. So building a strong body is timeless. You're like vintage. You know what I'm saying? Like a classic. Like, man. So you be pound for pound. You can be in any generation, so to speak. That's a little joke. But you get my drift, right? So also having a strong body shows a sign of vitality. And you want to have some vigor in life and assertiveness, right? Like I said, you want to be a well-oiled machine. And as you get older too, you want to change certain training principle or fine-tuning your training principles to be better, right? Because, as you get older, you don't have the recovery as you did when you were younger. And you should be getting smarter as well. Aging like fine wine. So in conclusion, strength training is beautiful because it's not just changing about how you look, it's about changing how you feel and move through the world and how you see yourself. All right? Because you are your best project. As a saying I like to give to my clients, you are both the marvel and the sculptor, right? So build a body that you want and become the best version of yourself. All right? Alchemy Fitness, signing off where we transfer from lead to gold. Train hard, train smart, and train safe. Peace.